makes you happy. If you're happy and you know it, take your drugs. Hello, welcome back. For this week's video, I want to paint my med case. That's this boy right here. I want to make it whimsy. I want to make it cute. Because if I'm gonna be chronically ill, I'm gonna chronically slay. I just want to make it fun and cute and paint it. And why not film it? So that's what we're gonna do this week. My med case needs a pick-me-up. She's losing her paint. I don't know what day of the week is what. She's falling apart. She's gross. She needs a pick-me-up. So instead of replacing her, I'm just gonna make her whimsy and cute. My favorite thing about this med case is the fact that I can pop out each of the days and take them singularly. Is that a word? I don't know. Since I can take each of the days out, it gave me an idea to paint each of them their own design. So that's what we're gonna do. First thing that we need to do for this project is get some inspiration and figure out what I want each of the day of the week to look like, what I want its design to be, what I want its theme to be. After I get my inspiration, I know I'm gonna need paint because I don't have a whole lot of paint. Then we obviously are gonna need to paint and seal them and make them hopefully last at least a month. With all of that said, we move into step one, inspiration. Hello. We are going to talk about inspiration for our med case. This isn't it, but I felt like this was a good spot. Since I am doing a different theme for each day, I wanted to do a theme that felt like each day. That makes no sense, but I hope that makes sense. Monday is the start of the week we hate. But when I think of Monday, I think of caffeine because I need the pick-me-up. I don't drink coffee, but I do drink tea. So for Monday, I want to do the different china patterns. I think it's the Chinese porcelain blue and white, like china patterns. I think they are so pretty. So I want to kind of replicate that a little bit. I'm gonna try. It's probably not gonna be super good, but I am going to try. So for Tuesday, I want to do a wood pattern with maybe a little bit of greenery to be that nice kind of still getting into the week vibe, but a little bit more grounded. For Wednesday, I knew that this med case would not feel like me if I didn't do a book theme at some point. So I decided that Wednesday felt like a good day to have a book theme. So that is what I'm going to do. Thursday felt very purple. I love purple. It is my favorite color. And I love flowers. So for Thursday, I wanted to do a purpley, lavendery type theme, and that just felt right. For Friday, I have been finding a bunch of new creators on YouTube that have really been inspiring me. One of those YouTubers did her entire bedroom or guest room, I don't exactly remember, in this really pretty dark blue and star theme, and I've been really obsessed with that kind of combination. So I decided that that was one of the patterns that I wanted to do on my med case, and I felt like that was Friday. Saturday felt like the beach. So I'm going to do these beach photos that I took, and I'm going to try to replicate the fuzzy, fluffy waves. Sunday just felt yellow. I don't know why. It felt like yellow. And keeping with the flower theme that we have going on, I wanted to do sunflowers for Sunday. And I thought that the yellows and the browns would look really pretty together, but also tie into everything else, but also keep it relatively unique. With all of that said, we have our inspiration. Now it's just time to paint and pray to the gods that it's cute. But first, we're gonna head to the craft store to get some paint. Started out by giving everything a good scrub down because it was pretty gross.
Oh, you nasty.
I decided to keep the base pretty simple and just paint it black. I also painted the top of the med cases black. This is not a good shot, I'm very sorry. I then labeled each day in this funky font of mine that's not a font. I struggled with Monday quite a bit, but ultimately decided to make a cup of tea with the China pattern. I used a mixture of dark brown, light brown, and white to make my tea consistency. Then went in with a dark brown to add my shadows to where the tea meets the edge of the cup. I then used a mixture of light blue, a little bit of dark blue, and a white to make my flowers. This is not good, but I tried my best. And with those best efforts, that's it for Monday. For Tuesday, I went in with a light brown base color. Then I painted in my wood paneling with a darker brown. I went in with my light base color again to make the wood grain look a little bit deeper and more real. I don't know. From there, I tried to make little tropical inspired plants in the corners. These shots are also not great. I was really focused. I'm sorry. And with some last little touches, that will do us for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I started out by sketching how I wanted my bookshelf to look. Then I just painted the back of my bookcase and then all of my books. With all of my books painted, I then went in with a cream color to make my pages. The next day, I went in with a gold paint to add extra embellishments and details and plants, just to give the bookshelf joy. Lastly, after adding some shadows, we can call Wednesday good. For Thursday, I decided to start with the ombre for the background, with lighter on the edges and darker in the middle. I then attempted to replicate the lavender flowers by making little rice shapes, if that makes sense. The first one turned out super cute. I have no idea what happened to the second one. It was so bad, there was no saving it. I ended up just restarting. After restarting and replacing my ombre, I started with the stems. Then I practiced how I wanted my lilacs to look and settled on this multicolored dot option. Then lastly, off camera, I added some grass, and now I'm just adding some more highlights, and Thursday's good. For Friday, I decided to go with another ombre, except this time I started with the lighter in the background and the darker part of my ombre towards the bottom of the med case. I then used white paint to splatter paint the background stars. Then with a gold paint, I painted my big stars or my main stars using different variations of the same star. And with that, Friday is done. For Saturday, I went in with a nice sand green color for the base. Then with a dark blue to white ombre on my brush, I just marked out how I wanted my waves to look, and then did 2 coats of that. Then with a sponge brush, I'm making my sea foam. But it still didn't feel foamy enough, so I went in again with a little bit of a smaller sponge, and that worked perfect. And with that, Saturday is done. For Sunday, I initially tried to do a brown and green ombre for some reason. I hated it, so I just painted the base a dark brown. Then with a pretty yellow color, I'm just going in and making my sunflowers on the corners. and with some extra added details and a layer of Mod Podge to seal everything, we are officially done and ready for the reveal. I have officially painted all of my med cases. Let's see, which ones are my favorite? I like this one the most. She is one of my favorites, of course, because she's a book. This is also another one of my favorites. I really like all of them, to be quite honest with you. This one is also another one of my favorites. I love the purples and the lavenders and the lavenders. I am not without self-awareness. I do see that this looks very similar to a middle school project. However, if we're being honest, that is where my skills of painting lie. But that's okay, because the main reason why I did this is so that I would take my meds. And I'm not gonna lie to you, these make me want to take my meds. I think that they are super cute. They make me happy. They fill me with little balls of serotonin, and in a world like this, that's all that matters. I went back and forth with whether or not I wanted to have the big white letters that were like Sunday, you know? I ultimately decided that I didn't want to. I wanted to keep it pretty simple, but also having each day be its own theme really helps me, because then I'm like, oh, Saturday is beach. Did I take beach today? At the end of the day, nobody said we can't do this life in a whimsy way. So whatever makes you take your drugs or makes you take care of yourself in a fun, whimsy way, you should do. And this is mine. With all of that said, I hope you paint your med case. Get a little whimsy with it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for making it to the end. If you did, I appreciate you. Feel free to maybe like something, maybe subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye! To get... That's the worst thing I could know. Okay. Just had to get that out. My name's Tia, and you're watching Disney Channel. Ding!